Good morning, everyone. It's Steve Lookner with Right Side Broadcasting coming to you with a news alert. There has been a school shooting this morning in Kentucky at Marshall High School in Benton, Kentucky. And we are hearing there's been one killed and multiple people injured. It's a bit confusing at the moment what exactly happened here. The suspect is in custody, but no real word has come out. This probably happened, about an hour and a half ago. There was first word of it, and still not a lot of new details have come out about what exactly happened in this Kentucky high school shooting. So we just wanted to come on and do an update for you and tell you what we know at this point. And also, I wanted to just make sure you can hear me. So let me just show you what we know right now. Governor Matt Bevin of Kentucky tweeted this out earlier this morning, 9:43 a.m. He said, "Tragic shooting at Marshall County High School. Shooters in custody, one confirmed fatality, multiple others wounded. Much yet unknown. Please do not speculate or spread hearsay. Let's let the first responders do their job and be grateful they are there to do it for us." And since he tweeted this out, at 9:43, there's really not much more information about this that's come out about it. He actually just issued a statement. I saw about a minute ago. NBC News said Matt Bevin issued a statement, and it says, "This is a tremendous tragedy and speaks to the heartbreak present in our communities. It is unbelievable that this would happen in a small, close-knit community like Marshall County. There is still much unknown. I encourage people to love on each other at this time. Do not speculate, but come alongside each other in support and allow the facts to come out." So really all we know right now is one dead, multiple injured. A suspect is in custody. I don't even know if the suspect is a student or not, or if the people hurt are students or not, or faculty or whatever. Let's see here. I went to Kentucky.com to see what they might have, to see sometimes the local papers have more. This didn't have much more. This is from the Lexington, Kentucky Herald Leader. It says, "One arrested in fatal Kentucky school shooting with multiple victims." Kentucky State Police says, one of the multiple wounded victims has died. It was Marshall County High School in western Kentucky. Kentucky State Police said a Marshall County deputy apprehended the alleged shooter. So I don't know if the Marshall County deputy, I'm guessing they went to the school after reports of the shooting. I don't know if I don't think they were at the school already, but who knows. Let's see. At 10:11 a.m., police said scene is secured. A Marshall County deputy apprehended the shooter, KSP said at 10:26 a.m. So I wonder if this person has any more updates. We'll check in a second. The FBI is working with federal, state, and local law authorities, law enforcement partners. There was a heavy police presence. The school was locked down, and no one was allowed inside either entrance. We'll look at the Marshall County paper too and see what they have. Yeah, so really, one question is what exactly happened here? I mean, was this, you hear school shooting and you think, oh, it's a student who's, kind of not mentally well or disgruntled or whatever and goes in and just shoots people, but that's not always the case with school shootings. A lot of times we see school shootings where it's some kind of domestic incident and other people get caught in the crossfire. I remember a few months ago there was a situation in I think it was California, where one person went in and shot a teacher who I think they were dating or something, and then some students got hit in the crossfire. So we just don't know right now what happened. It certainly seems possible that this was not just somebody going in to shoot people, because a lot of times when that happens, you see more dead. But we do have multiple injuries. So right now we just don't know who these people are exactly and why exactly this happened. See if I can find any more sources here. Here's a picture from Ryan Herman's posted of just the scene at the high school about an hour ago with multiple police cars and emergency vehicles. I'm not seeing any more. The only thing I'm seeing at the Marshall County Tribune Courier, the Marshall County Tribune Courier newspaper says an hour ago they said 2 air evac helicopters have landed in the past few minutes. We have been told there have been arguments between law enforcement and parents trying to get inside. An earlier report by them said a student inside Marshall County High School this morning heard shots ring out and saw 2 injured. Students ran from the scene and were eventually locked inside classrooms while they remained at the scene. So, again, still no information who the people were who were shot, who the shooter is, and why this happened. None of that. We don't know any of that right now. This is an article from the Daily Mail in England, but they often have good breaking news. They don't really have any more information. 1 dead and they said at least 4 others injured. 1 dead and at least 4 others injured. So that would be a reason, well, if it was just 1 dead, you might think, oh, well, this was somebody shooting somebody they knew or from the high school or something. But given that many injuries, well, you just don't know, because this person might have targeted a number of specific people, or it could have been people caught in the crossfire, or it could have just been like a random shooting. Just don't know. And the 1 person dead is not the shooter, because the shooter's in custody. At least 5 people are believed to have been shot, but it is not clear if any staff members were among those injured. Although this doesn't even say that it was students who were clearly shot, so we just don't know. There's some photos here from the scene, from the high school, Marshall County High School. More photos, police cars. Here's again that tweet from Governor Matt Bevin, which we read before, where he said tragic shooting at Marshall County High School. Shooters in custody, 1 confirmed fatality, multiple others wounded. Much yet unknown. Please do not speculate or spread hearsay. Let's let the first responders do their job and be grateful they are there to do it for us. A student inside the school tweeted just after 8 a.m. that multiple people had been injured. This happened quite early. I don't know when the school day starts there, but it's on Easter. I would assume they're on Eastern time there, and but 8 a.m. That would in a lot of places be before classes actually start or right as classes are starting. Oh, there's this. It says initial reports suggest the shooting may have taken place in a common room. I don't know what a common room is at that high school. Perhaps it's an area where students are just allowed to congregate between or before classes. Also another thing that can happen is this could have been some sort of fight. A fight breaks out, a student has a gun, they shoot somebody, other people get hit. So just don't know at this point what happened here. If you hear anything, or if you've heard anything different than what we've been hearing here, please feel free to give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at LOOKNER. KC writes, any word on where the victims were taken? I've heard no information about where the victims were taken. There were reportedly a couple of medevac helicopters there, but don't know, can't tell you where they were taken. Nicholas writes, and Steve, so far CNN has reported 1 death on this shooting, but it seems like most of the media have been focusing on the government shutdown. Charlie Fraley said he heard 7 were injured. I haven't heard that number, Charlie. Where are you hearing that number? All I've heard is the one number I heard was from the Daily Mail story, which said they had heard 4 injured, 1 dead. James Garber says, thank you for covering real breaking news when the mainstream media outlets are not. Yeah, Charlie, if you have a source for that, I'd love to hear it. Again, if you're hearing anything else out there about this, give me a shout on Twitter, at Lookner, at LOOKNER. So I'm going to take a look around now and see if I can find anything else for you about this. a bit odd that we really don't have any more information than there was in like an hour and a half ago. Sorry, I'm just searching a couple sources here, trying to find something new. The Fox News story on this has not really new details. It just says 1 dead, multiple wounded. Who is this? This is the congressional representative from that district. Tweeted, James Comer tweeted, "My thoughts and prayers go out to the students and faculty at Marshall County High School where there's been a tragic school shooting," but doesn't say anything about the shooting. Yeah, so as I said before, it wasn't even immediately clear how old the victims were. Wait, what? So this says a Benton Elementary School spokesperson told Fox 17 Nashville, oh, that's elementary schools, that all students and staff were safe. I thought it was saying the high school. So not really new information there. Let me look up on a map Benton, Kentucky. We should get a map pop up here in a second. Here is where the high school is. I was doing so well and it disappeared. Oh, I know why it disappeared. Well, we'll try this again. There we go. So there's Kentucky. I wonder what time zone they're on there. Benton, Kentucky time zone. They are on Central Time there. Okay, so I'm wondering, I saw a student tweeted out at quote-unquote 8 a.m. that there'd been a shooting there. I wonder if that was 8 a.m. Central, 9 Eastern. That would make a little more sense, given when we started hearing about this. So it might have been about 2 hours ago that this happened, 2.5 hours ago. But that's where Marshall County High School is, right there in western Kentucky. How many students are at Marshall County High School, I wonder. Let's see if I can find this out. The problem is when you Google Marshall County High School, all you get is you get all stories about the shooting and nothing about the school. Let's see. Marshall County High School. I got a site telling me the percentage of men and women at the high school, but not the amount of school students there. Can't tell you. Can't tell you for now how many students are enrolled at Marshall County High School. Let's see. Charlie Fraley suggests WPSD Local 6. Charlie says, I live nearby the shooting. Let me see if they have maybe a Twitter or something. Okay, I see that. I have, so this is WPSD, which I guess is a local station. They're just reporting on their site, there's been a shooting, 1 dead, multiple injured. That's not new. Our Local 6 crew has confirmed 3 victims were taken to hospitals. They have some photos here. So we don't even know what age the shooter and the victims are. We don't know if they're students or not, to be quite honest. Joey Diaz says, if more people in the school were armed, maybe just the shooter would have ended up dead or injured. We just don't know that right now, Joey, because we don't even know the circumstances of the shooting. We don't even know other people. For all you know, they did have armed guards at the school. I don't know anything about right now the school or the city or the school, what it's like in the school and what the scenario, the circumstances of the shooting were. Guy Ingham writes in, he heard, and Guy, do you have a source for this? Guy Ingham had heard that around 7:55 Kentucky time, a man dropped his daughter off. He was not a mile away when she called him saying shots are being fired. He was one that took video of helicopters taking off. He's a video guy for news. Yes, Charlie. Well, Charlie, you're saying high school age, but I don't know. I know the student, it's a high school. I just haven't heard any news outlets reporting what age the people were who were hurt or what the shooter was. Da Coolest Dad Ever says, hey, Steve, thanks for coming on the air with this morning. You're welcome. If you send me a link, please give me a little blurb about what it is. Because if I just literally get a link from somebody, for all I know, it's like a virus or something. So just give me just a very short summary if you send me a link about what that link is. Just so I know you're not a crazy virus spreading bot. So we're just trying to get a little more information on this shooting. All we know is that one dead or multiple injured in a school shooting at Marshall High School in Kentucky. And we really know nothing besides that. I mean, really. Just very little. So I'd like to know a little more, and we're just searching around trying to find some more. And we know the shooter's in custody. That we do know. Just checking some different sources here. Let me check Kentucky.com again. Yeah, the Kentucky.com story is still the same. They said they updated it 6 minutes ago. Well, one of the multiple victims has died. Well, we knew that. The shooter has been apprehended around the shooter. Now, I will say this. This is interesting information. The shooter, did they apprehend him at 10:26 or did they report it at 10:26? If they apprehended him at 10:26, that would mean he was unapprehended for a good hour and a half because the shooting, by 10:26, I think they mean Eastern, so that would be 9:26 Central. And if that was the case, then the shooting would have been going on the shooter would have been, unapprehended for a good hour and a half. So I don't know. That could be wrong. That could be that they might have gotten confused there and said that they might have confused the time. It says a Marshall County deputy apprehended the shooter around 10:26. I don't know if that means. That definitely means that's when he was apprehended, or if that's when they reported he was apprehended. It's interesting. Kentucky, Matt Bevin announced there was a shooting before others confirmed it. So we saw that tweet from the governor. Was he? Now it's interesting. I wasn't watching at the time, but I wondered, was he like the first one? Did people find out about the shooting because Matt Bevin tweeted about it? That would be interesting. See, look. Hey, check this out. The Kentucky Department of Education initially said it was a student who died. They later said it was a person who died. So, for all we know, this wasn't a student. For all we know, the person who died wasn't even affiliated with the school. We just don't know. We don't know if the shooter was affiliated with the school, to be honest. Thanks, Justin. I don't think I can show that video because it's not like a tweeted, it's like a news organization video that's not like tweeted out. But thank you, Justin, for sending that in. Charlie Fraley said he heard on local news that the one that died is a student and that the victims are students, but I can't confirm that. Okay, Guy. Guy said he had heard about the story about the guy dropping his daughter off and then the daughter calling about the shooting. He heard that on his live news in Maine. Thank you, Guy. Matt Camper sent me a tweet with some information about somebody had asked about where the students, where the victims, if they are students, where the victims being taken, and Matt Camper sent me a tweet about that. So Holden Kerwicki said at least 2 patients have been airlifted to Nashville. At least 2 patients have been airlifted to Nashville. And actually, I can show you this. Josh Breslow said, 3rd patient from shooting has just arrived at VUMC Health via medical helicopter. Vanderbilt University Medical Center. So that's a student. That's a patient arriving at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. So 3 patients have been flown to Vanderbilt University Medical Center from the Marshall High School. If you hear any updates you want to share with us, give me a shout. Charlie Fraley says he heard it's a county high school and has approximately 1,300 students. Charlie Fraley also said he heard on local news that it's a Marshall County, that some were airlifted out from Marshall County Hospital. So maybe they were taken to the local hospital first and then airlifted out. Hi, Edward. Yeah, we looked at the Marshall County Tribune Courier Facebook page before. Thank you. See what else we can find here, if anything new. Just looking at some different sources. Now, CNN is saying 7 taken to hospitals. I hadn't seen this number before. Charlie Fraley said our viewer said he'd heard this number. It's a little odd, though. When was this posted? So this was posted a half hour ago, and they said 7 taken to hospitals. 7 taken to hospitals. That's the first time I've heard that number. Please get off the screen, news alert. Seven people were taken to hospitals, some by helicopter, said Darlene Lynn of Marshall County Emergency Management. 7 people taken to hospitals. Okay. The motive for the shooting is not known. About 30,000 people live in Marshall County, about 115 miles northwest of Nashville, which is interesting because 3 of the victims ended up getting transported to Nashville, which is 115 miles away. So, I'm guessing they were pretty serious and they needed to go to the Vanderbilt Medical Center for some kind of attention they couldn't have got in the local hospital or some kind of treatment. Now they're also saying, oh, that was different. Oh, that was a different shooting. Okay, so we have one killed and 7 taken to hospitals. When it gets up that high, then you start to think, well, if 7 people were injured and 1 dead, and it was the shooter's not the one killed, you start thinking maybe it was more of a person firing at a mass of people rather than people caught in a crossfire of a targeted incident. But you don't know, honestly. Somebody shoots at somebody else and they just start shooting wildly. They might hit a lot of other people, so you just don't know. We don't know why this happened, and let me check one more thing here. Yeah, so hold on. I got an autoplay video going here. Yeah, we still don't know who the shooter is, whether the shooter was a student or not, whether the victims were students or not. We just don't know. Charlie Fraley said he heard uninjured kids were taken by bus to North Middle School for parents to pick them up from there. Oh, and Trump the Winner sent me a link that says the high school has 1,369 total enrolled students. 1,369 total enrolled students. See if I can find anything new for you. We just might not hear for a while, what who more about who the shooter was and who the victims were. Now the New York Times article, do they have anything new? 1 dead suspect held. Nearly 100 children ran out of the high school seeking safety. There was running and crying and screaming. There were just kids running down the highway. They were trying to get out of there. Kentucky State Police said the suspect was apprehended by a Marshall County deputy. No more information about the suspected shooter or the apprehension was immediately released. Yeah, so we don't even know anything about the apprehension. Was it like did the person just give themselves up or not? We don't know. It says this is a small town, and I want to get you the population of that. The population of Benton, Kentucky is 4,349. Now, this is a county high school, though, and the enrollment at the high school is... Oops, I got a little uneven here. The enrollment at the high school is about 1,300, so it's not a small school. It's a medium-sized high school. Charlie Fraley said a student from the school just said live on his local news WPSD that the shooter was a sophomore. So I can't confirm that, but that's something our viewer Charlie Fraley heard on the local news. And Charlie Fraley, I'm sorry, it's a she. I saw the name Charlie, and I was saying he. I apologize. It's a she. And Charlie says, we're very rural here, so all major trauma centers are a ways away. She is in Kentucky, Charlie Fraley. So thank you for the updates you're seeing on your local news. And Charlie is saying what we had heard before, that we were trying to figure out before. This shooting happened at 8 a.m. CST, around 8 a.m. CST, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, Charlie. Oh, I got WPSD on Twitter. Well, they're not really posting updates, unfortunately. Sorry, just checking a couple other things here, seeing if we get more information. That might be all we get for now, at least for the near future. The 1 dead, 7 injured. I guess local news might be reporting that the shooter was a sophomore in high school. I can't confirm that though. And we really know nothing about the circumstances as to why people were shot and what led to this shooting. Was it a fight? Was it a random attack? Was it a targeted attack? Just don't know. All right, we'll stay on the air a couple minutes longer. If you have heard anything new, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Also, be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube at Right Side Broadcasting and click the notifications bell so you get notified when we're coming on the air with these videos. Also, you can follow us on Facebook at Right Side Broadcasting, on Twitter at RSB Network, at RSB Network. I'm on Twitter at Lookner. I post about breaking news all the time, so if I hear more about this later today, I will definitely tweet about it at Lookner. Thank you, Kirk. Kirk made a donation. The donations are what keep us on the air. We're viewer supported, so thank you, Kirk, for your donation. Kirk Wasson says, I know you guys can't officially confirm or deny anything that isn't proven, but I just want to state that Q said many false flags are expected these days. Food for thought. Having video is helpful. Kirk, my guess, I would be utterly shocked if this was a false flag operation of some sort. My guess is that this is just a unfortunate school shooting, and we'll see what we hear more about it later today from the authorities. But thanks very much, Kirk, for the donation. Charlie says they're going to have a local news conference on their local channel there in a few minutes, which we're not allowed to just show you their feed. We can't do that. But let me look up something here. What is this? Hang on. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to bring you that news conference, unfortunately. So if I hear anything interesting that comes out, I will tweet about it for you. Yeah, thank you. Mary Stewart sent me a local news link too. but we can't. We're not allowed to just take a news station's feed and show it on our network. But if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. If we're not on the air, I'll tweet it out. Lynn sent me a message. What is this, Lynn? Okay, that was a story. That was some details we'd already seen. What was this other thing you sent me? That other link isn't really opening. Well, thank you for writing, though, Lynn. Trump the Winner writes, and on my way out to work, you guys are the best covering news mainstream media fails to unless they have to. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, Trump the Winner. Just trying to get some more information here. Well, at this point, we're not getting much else in. So I think at this point we're going to wrap up the stream just because we're not really getting this much in. I mean, what we know is that 1 dead, 7 injured. The shooter is in custody. It was at Marshall County High School in Benton, Kentucky. Started around 8 a.m. local time. Shooter was apprehended, I believe, around 9:30 a.m. local time, although I can't confirm that. He was apprehended. He or she was apprehended by a Marshall County deputy or some sort of Marshall County law enforcement official. Don't know the circumstances of that. Several victims have been airlifted to Vanderbilt Medical Center. We know that. Heard one of our viewers said she had heard on a local station that the shooter was a sophomore in high school, but I can't confirm that information. So that's really all we know right now. And I'll definitely tweet out later if I hear more about this shooting. So you can follow me on Twitter at @Lookner. You can follow. And Charlie Fraley says the people holding the press conference in Marshall County are the Board of Education. Let me look one more time. Yeah, I don't think we have access to that. But I'll check one more thing. Hang on. Yeah, we don't have that. So if I hear anything more, I'll tweet it out for you guys. Appreciate everybody who sent in stuff, sent in updates, especially Charlie Fraley from Kentucky. Thank you for reporting about what some of the local news was saying, and thank everybody else who sent in news tips and stuff on this. And everything stopped here. Look at that. Hey, I froze. I'm all frozen up. So I didn't freeze, but my background froze. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'll get that fixed for the next broadcast. But that's going to wrap it up from here. And thanks again to Kirk for the donation. We are a viewer-supported network, so if you do like our coverage, if you like having an alternative to the mainstream media for your news events, please consider making a donation. You can always donate by going to the bottom of the YouTube chat and clicking on the little dollar sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. It's a gray dollar sign. Or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Your donations are what keeps us on the air, so we really do appreciate it. And that's going to wrap it up for here for now. And so again, I'll tweet out if I hear any more information about this. But for now, I am Steve Lookner from Right Side Broadcasting. Our thoughts are certainly with all the people in Kentucky who are affected by this shooting. We hope everybody who's injured recovers well from this. And that's it for now. So, and thank you for people saying thank you in the chat room. I totally forgot to thank the moderators. That's my bad. Hey, Roger Vega, Guinevere, thank you for moderating the chat. I was so busy getting the news updates, I completely forgot to thank the moderators. So thank you, Roger and Guinevere, for moderating in the chat room. And thanks everybody else for the chat room, Rocky Roll, Joey DS, and everybody else in there. Light Switch, Jasmine Guthrie, TH1, and everybody else there. Okay, so I'll tweet out if I hear anything more about this. We're going to have coverage later today of the White House press briefing, so join us for that later this afternoon. And that's it. Okay, and when I end this broadcast, I'm going to say goodbye, but there's a little issue here, so it's going to take a second before I disappear. So I'm saying goodbye now. Have a good day, everybody. Again, our thoughts with everybody in Kentucky affected by this terrible shooting, and I'll tweet out more information when I have it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching Right Side Broadcasting. Thanks for watching this event, and we will see you later on today here with more news at Right Side Broadcasting.